Why the US can't just print money whenever it wants. Imagine this. The US government needs more money. So why not just print it? Just fire up the printing machines and flood the economy with fresh, crisp $100 bills. Sounds easy, right? But what if I told you that printing more money without rules could crash the economy, skyrocket prices, destroy savings, and even collapse the US dollar itself? In this video, we're going deep into the fascinating world of money printing. Why the US can't just print money at will? Who controls the money printer? And what really happens when too much money enters the system? Stick around, because once you understand this, you'll never look at money the same way again. Who controls money printing? First, let's clear up one big misconception. The US government doesn't print money whenever it wants. That job belongs to the Federal Reserve, the Central Bank of the United States, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. They physically print the notes, but only after the Fed gives the order. Think of the Federal Reserve as the brains, and the Bureau as the hands. Every single dollar printed has to be approved based on strict economic policies. Why not just print more? So, why can't we just print more money to pay off debt, boost the economy, or give every American $1 million? Because printing money without matching it to real economic value leads to inflation, or worse, hyperinflation. More money chasing the same amount of goods, swirling rising prices. Too much money, your savings become worthless. Extreme cases, look at Zimbabwe or Venezuela, their currencies collapsed. So the US must be extremely careful about how much money enters the system. 10 key checks before printing money. Here are the 10 key factors the US considers before printing more money. Number 1, inflation rate. Keep it around 2%. The ideal inflation rate is around 2% to keep prices stable. If the government prints too much money, like Zimbabwe did in the 2000s, prices can skyrocket overnight, making basic goods unaffordable. Number 2, GDP growth. Money must match economic productivity. If the economy grows by 3%, money supply can also increase by about 3%. For example, during post-World War II US growth, moderate money printing matched productivity, keeping inflation low. Number 3, cash demand. More cash is printed only if demand increases. During holidays or crises like COVID-19, people withdraw more cash. In such times, the Fed prints more, not to increase wealth, but to meet temporary demand for physical money. Number 4, interest rates. Fed must control borrowing costs to manage inflation. If inflation rises, the Fed increases interest rates. In the 1980s, Paul Volcker raised rates to over 15% to crush double-digit inflation in the US. Number 5, money supply measures. M1 and M2 track how much money exists. M1 includes physical cash and checking accounts. M2 adds savings. For example, after 2008, M2 surged as the Fed pumped money into the system via stimulus, which economists closely tracked. Number 6, employment levels. Printing may increase if unemployment is high. If jobs are lost, the government may print money to fund programs. In 2020, trillions were printed to support unemployed Americans via stimulus checks and unemployment benefits. Number 7, global trust in dollar. As a world reserve currency, trust must be protected. The dollar is used worldwide. If the US printed recklessly, other countries might shift to alternatives like the euro or yuan, threatening America's financial dominance. Number 8, Federal Reserve balance sheet. Tools like quantitative easing must be balanced. Quantitative easing increases money supply by buying assets. After 2008, the Fed did this to stabilize markets, but had to taper it carefully to avoid overheating the economy. Number 9, national debt strategy. Printing too much can backfire on debt management. If the US prints to pay off debt, it risks devaluing the dollar. For example, if foreign investors expect this, they may demand higher interest to lend, worsening the debt crisis. 10, market expectations. Public fear of inflation can trigger real inflation. If people believe prices will rise, they rush to buy, pushing prices up. In the 1970s US, inflation spiraled partly because businesses and workers expected it and acted on that belief. These checks act like guardrails, keeping the dollar stable and the US economy on track. What happens if they print too much? Let's say the US ignores all the rules and prints trillions more. What happens? Prices surge. Salaries don't keep up. Panic sets in. Investors flee. The value of the dollar plummets. This isn't science fiction. This is what happened in Germany in the 1920s, Zimbabwe in the 2000s, Venezuela in the 2010s. The US dollar holds power because of discipline, not because it's printed endlessly. Does that mean the US never prints more money? Not exactly. The Fed does inject more money when needed, but in controlled ways. Quantitative easing during recessions, stimulus packages during crises like COVID. But it always comes with consequences and must be rolled back when the economy stabilizes. Conclusion. The next time someone asks, why not just print more money? Because behind every printed dollar is a delicate balance of economic trust, global influence, and financial discipline. Let us know in the comments. Did this change how you think about money? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into how the world really works. Thanks for watching.